Hey everybody, welcome back to Ryan Makes Sense. Today we are looking at ticker symbol EAF, that is GrafTech International. We have reviewed this one before, and I did own a position for a while. I ended up cutting ties with it. I did get a viewer request to look back at this one, see what institutional investors and hedge funds are doing. We're also going to look at the sales, look at the balance sheet, run a calculation, and see, if this thing has upside, if any. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on it. So just looking at a high level, we can see this has gapped down a couple times right here. There's a gap at 4.99. We'll just call it $5. There is another gap here at 3.30. And that's, we'll just spit a little bit. That's the gaps I can see on the daily. Looking at the bigger picture here, it has just been a beatdown of sorts. It does look like we may, just looking at these candles right here, potentially a bottom coming. We do see, and I'm going to go ahead and draw really quick. So I've drawn this one before. It looks like we might have support right here at 130. Well, I don't know what this is. This is 142. So, I mean, we do see 1, 2, 3. We do see this support tested 5 times on the monthly. However, I do want to be cognizant of this bearish candle right here. It does signify possible downside. RSI is just continuing to go down, unfortunately. It does look like momentum actually might be ready to rip up. With this enhanced volume here, we could see a nice quick move. Money flow also jolting up from the barrel. Relative momentum indicator, this just looks like it's coasting below on the ocean floor. So again, could see a move here. Looking at the relative momentum indicator, it looks like it might not be a big move. However, well, there's a lot of shares outstanding as well, so that might be hard to hit that supply. Okay, looking at sales, I mean, we can see this performance is being reflected in the stock price. Nothing but brutality for the last 5 years. So that makes sense. EPS, again, nothing but brutality going down, no reversal. We're going to go ahead and see what institutions and hedge funds are doing. It looks like they own 70%. I'm going to go ahead and get this site open now because it does take a minute. So we'll check back on that. Looking at a high level, I'm just going to go down to our income statement really quick on the quarterly. So for the first quarter, they brought in 136, which looking at last year's first quarter, it's pretty close, but again, less. Bringing in less than last quarter as well. It actually looks like the weakest quarter going back to Q2 2022. So I don't think they found the rhythm yet. I mean, maybe they have now, but as of Q1 2024, I think the verdict is still out on that. Ooh, we do see some nice buying here. Look at this. Colonial House Capital owns 31 million shares. Very nice. And they are loading at 172. They're down now, but BCPGP, they went from 30 million shares now down to 23. That's about a 7 million share release. Okay. So I saw what I wanted to see on the income statement. Basically, the company's still trying to find its ground. Let's run my calculation here to see what the potential stock price could be. And this works really well on microcap companies. So we have sales of 618,280,000. Great, but they're losing 278,750,000. So they're not profitable. You can see down here, profit margins negative 45, which is not good. Gross margin is negative 1%. Oh my God, that is not good. So basically, every $100 they spend, they get $99 back. That's a recipe for failure. So that needs to turn around. Um, let's go on my calculation and I gotta see this in real time. Wow. Literally, they spent 140 million to make 136 million. Wow. That's devastation nation. Wow. That's not good. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled calculation. So plus 165 million in cash, 190,000. Good for them. Total debt. Total debt. 926 million, 780,000. This is a negative, so this does not hit my criteria. We're not even going to continue because it doesn't make sense. Total assets 1.2 billion. Total liabilities 1.1 billion. And looking at this even closer, it is a $27 million buffer between assets and liabilities for the last quarter. Fourth quarter of 2023, there was a buffer of about 78 million. So yeah, that's how things are going here. Just wow, they need to come back. They need to come back in a big way. Okay, so this is disqualified from my calculation because we cannot do this. Negative, no. So let's just like highlight some other things that could make us feel a little bit more comfortable. Um, I'm not planning on taking a position, but for those who do, quick ratio is a 1.91, which is really good. A quick ratio over 1 means if they close their doors tomorrow, they could pay off any debts, liabilities, notes, what have you. So that's good. This debt here is just absolutely horrifying. Um, yeah, that's about it. So, pretty rough. Okay, let's see what institutions and hedge funds are doing. Old data shows they own 70%. This website here shows us up to the day filings. So 70% to 87. So that's a 17% increase. Let's just see what's going on. Not a good trend overall right here. We can see it's the lowest it's ever been for institutional and hedge fund ownership. Colonial House has added 3.36 million shares. Undavia Nilesh, I need to go down. I'm going to see if any of these people are. No. Oh, okay. So Undavia Nilesh, no change. BCPGP sold, whoa, 36 million shares as of the last filing of February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. Vanguard decreased 6 million shares. Grantham Mayo added 5 million shares about. FMR added about almost 3 million, and BlackRock added almost 2 million, maybe closer to 1.6. So a little bit of a mixed messages there, but ownership is up from 70% to 87%. Yeah, my calculation broke down here when basically their debt obliterated everything. I mean, they're not really making any progress, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, the debt broke the camel's back on this one. Um, so I guess if you're in this one, you really, really need the company to have positive gross margins. Number one. Number two, we need to see an exact number would be 132 million plus for the next earnings, which is April 26th, that's old. So I don't, so if it took them 4 months, I mean, they're probably going to have an next earnings in a couple months. So we need a major turnaround here for this one to really come back to life. If they don't survive the rest of this year, I don't know how they're going to make it. So we'll see. We'll check back on this one maybe in a year or so, maybe when I get another viewer request to check in on it. But um, insiders are adding some to it. So there's a little positive, I guess. But if you made it this far, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Adios.